Hello and welcome to the bonus episode for the Smash Archive, the series where we look at every franchise featured in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This video is going to be a bit different from the rest, as instead of being focused on a specific franchise, console, or third-party company, this is instead going to be an overview of the 15 spirits that were added as part of 4 Spirit Board events, which were done to celebrate Ultimate's 5th anniversary. For the general structure, we'll go through each event, give a bit of background to the games that were focused on, and then give some more details on the specific characters that were added as spirits. With all that out of the way, let's get this thing started. First up, we have the event Fresh New Faces, which focused on characters that were introduced in brand new entries for some of Nintendo's bigger franchises. Namely, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the direct sequel to Breath of the Wild, which sees Ganondorf rise to power once again and start another attack called the Upheaval, causing parts of Hyrule to start flowing in the sky. Splatoon 3, which features a more chaotic art style and gameplay to previous titles, some new additions including a new story mode and salmon run challenges, an in-universe card game called Table Turf Battle, and Splatfest now being contests between 3 teams instead of the usual 2. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the conclusion to the Xenoblade trilogy, which takes place in the world of Ionis, which is a fusion of the previous game's worlds of Bionis and Ulrest, which houses a never-ending war between the nations of Keves and Agnes, and Pikmin 4, which follows a rescue team arriving on the Pikmin planet after receiving an SOS signal from Olimar, with the game bringing back the caves from Pikmin 2, along with a revamped battle mode, now called Dondori Battles, and 2 new Pikmin types with Ice Pikmin and Glow Pikmin, the latter of which only appear as part of the new tower defense style night missions. Each of these games got 1 spirit each, which are number 1514, Rauru, a 1-slot legend support spirit with the effect Special Move Power Up. The first king of Hyrule who founded the kingdom alongside his wife Sonia, with him being the one responsible for imprisoning Ganondorf underground, with him and Sonia running into Zelda when she ends up traveling back in time after her powers over time was amplified by a secret stone. Number 1515, Deep Cut, a 2-slot ace primary grab spirit with the effect Water Attack Up. The band who serves as the host for both News and Splatfest in Splatoon 3, fulfilling the same role that the Squid Sisters and Off the Hook did in the previous games. The band consists of the Octoling Shiver, the Inkling Fry, and a Manta Ray named Big Man, with each member also appearing as a boss in Splatoon 3's single-player campaign Return of the Mammalians. Number 1516, Noah and Mio, a 3-slot ace primary attack spirit with the effect Battering Items Power Up. The 2 main protagonists of Xenoblade 3, Noah being an Off-Seer soldier for the nation of Keves, whilst Mio is an Off-Seer from Agnes, the pair running into each other when they were sent to investigate an airship, only to run into its sole survivor who claims to know the true reason as to why both nations are stuck in a never-ending war, and after being attacked, imbues both their teams with the power of Ouroboros, with Noah and Mio soon after agreeing to work together to find out the truth of the war and the nature of their world. And number 1517, Ochi, a 1-slot ace support spirit with the effect Shield Damage Up. The rescue pup for the Rescue Corps, a team of astronauts that were sent to the Pikmin planet after getting an SOS signal from Olimar. Ochi can be commanded to carry objects and battle enemies, along with both the player and the Pikmin they're leading being able to ride on his back, with him also being able to both jump and swim across water, with Ochi effectively being the replacement for the multiple captains from Pikmin 2 and 3. For the next event, we have Sentinels, Gods, and Baseball, which featured spirits based on major characters from third-party franchises that were previously not represented in Smash before. These series being 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, a part 2D adventure, part RTS game developed by Vanillaware, who are also known for titles such as Dragon's Crown and Unicorn Overlord, and published by Atlus in Japan and Sega internationally, which follows follows a group of high school students in an alternate version of 80s Japan that get roped into a war between mechas and kaiju, with the plot following a non-linear narrative. Power Pros, a series of baseball games made by Konami, which has seen a new installment almost every year since it starts on the Super Nintendo in 1994. And whilst it's fairly obscure internationally, as from what I could find, only 3 entries have ever seemed to release outside Japan, within its home market, Power Pros is actually one of the most popular sports games in the country, having managed to maintain its position as Japan's best-selling baseball game franchise since 1997, with Power Pros as a whole managing to sell over 24 million copies. And finally, Hades, a roguelike made by the independent studio Supergiant Games, which sees you attempt to escape the underworld of Greek mythology with the assistance of the various gods on Mount Olympus, with treasures that are gained from a run being possible to exchange for either improving attributes or unlocking new abilities and weapons in order to help improve chances for success in future attempts. Like last time, each of these franchises got 1 spirit each, with number 1518, the 13 Sentinel Pilots, a 3-slot Ace primary shield spirit with the effect Wait Up, this being a group spirit of the 13 playable characters in 13 Sentinels, with the kaiju buff Joro Karabe, earnest dreamer Ayori Fuyusaka, breezy playboy Shu Amiguchi, steadfast guardian Megumi Yakushiji, displaced soldier Takatoshi Hijiyama, gang leader Yuki Takamaya, amnesiac on the run Ai Sekigahara, sci-fi fangirl Natsuno Minami, war-torn youth Keitaro Miura, sassy snoop Tomi Kisaragi, loyal punk Nenji Ogata, scarred agent Ryoko Shinonome, and seeker of answers Renya Goto. Number 1519, Power Pro Kun, Aoi Hayakawa, and Mamoru Ikari, a 2-slot Ace primary grab spirit with the effect battering items power up, these being 3 series recurring characters from the Power Pro series. Power Pro Kun is effectively the franchise's mascot, being based on the generic character that was used for every player in the very first game, with him often being the one you play as in the game's scenario mode. Aoi Hayakawa is the most popular female player in the series, who made her first appearance in Power Pro 7, the first fully 3D entry in the series, which released in 2000 for the PlayStation 2, and Mamoru Ikari is the canonical rival to Power Pro Kun, first appearing in Power Pros 4, which came out in 1997 for the Nintendo 64, and was the first entry to feature Success Mode, which is effectively the series' single-player campaign. For the Spirits artwork, Power Pro Kun's is taken from Power Pros Heroes, a side entry which came out in 2016 for the 3DS, whilst Aoi Hayakawa and Mamoru Ikari's are from Power Pros 2013, which was the 20th mainline entry and released on the PS3, PSP, and PS Vita. And number 1520, Zagreus, a 1-slot Ace primary attack spirit with the effect Sword Attack Up, the main protagonist of Hades, who is based on the Greek mythological figure of the same name, with the game seeing his attempt to escape both the underworld and his father Hades in order to get to the surface and meet his demi-goddess mother, Persephone, along the way getting assistance from the Olympian gods such as Athena, Aphrodite, and Zeus. Following that, we have our first event dedicated to one specific franchise with new Pokémon Discoveries, which specifically revolves around the 9th generation of games, Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. These games take place in the Paldea region, which is based off the Iberian Peninsula, the most southwestern section of Europe, primarily consisting of Spain and Portugal, with this also being the first fully open world mainline Pokémon game, with you being able to freely explore the seamless region with up to 4 friends, along with introducing a new transformation with terrestrial phenomena and brand new paradox Pokémon which come from the ancient past in Scarlet or distant future in Violet, along with adding an additional 120 completely new new Pokémon. Overall, Scarlet and Violet are games that are considered to have a lot of good features and ideas, the problem being it was home to one of the worst launches in series history, with a horrendous amount of glitches and performance issues that made the game borderline unplayable for some people. Though despite this, it still broke sales records with the highest amount of pre-orders for a Pokémon title, along with also breaking Nintendo's records for most sales for a launch weekend, a launch quarter, and a first fiscal year, with it currently having sold over 25.29 million copies, making it both the third best-selling Pokémon game and the seventh best-selling Switch game, with it later getting a two-part DLC expansion called The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. For the four spirits taken from Gen 9, we have number 1521, Koraidon and Miraidon, a 3-slot Legend primary attack spirit with the effect Move Speed Up, the box art legendaries, which are both based on various lizards and serpent-like dragons, Koraidon being a fighting dragon type, whilst Miraidon is an electric dragon type. As a change from the usual gimmick for legendaries, the player will actually encounter and befriend one of them at the very start of the game, the one they meet being dependent on which version they bought, being Koraidon in Scarlet and Miraidon in Violet, with Smash using the artwork of their strongest forms, which are Apex Build and Ultimate Mode respectively. Number 1522, Ogerpon, a 1-slot Ace primary grab spirit with the effect Item Throw Up, a grass-type legendary Pokemon based on an Oni, which can change its type by wearing different masks, with it serving as the new legendary for the first part of the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, the Teal Mask, with the name being the default mask worn by Ogerpon and the form used for the artwork. Number 1523, Terrapagos, a 2-slot Ace primary shield spirit with the effect Wait Up, a normal type legendary based on the Galapagos green turtle, which can transform into a terrestrial form using its Terra Shift ability, and after being exposed to a Terra Orb, its stellar form, the spirit art specifically being the terrestrial form, with Terrapagos serving as the main legendary for the second part of the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, the Indigo Disc. And number 1524, Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley, a 1-slot advanced support spirit with the effect critical health stats up. These being the 3 starter Pokemon for Gen 9, Sprigatito being the grass starter based on a long-haired kitten, which can evolve to become Florigato at level 16 and Meowscarada at level 36. Fuecoco is the fire starter, which is modeled after a crocodile, and turns into Crocodile at level 16 and Skeledirge at level 36, and finally Quaxley is the water starter that's designed after a crested duckling, with it transforming into Quaxwell at level 16 and Quaquaval at level 36. For the last spirit event of the day, we have Showtime and Wonder Spirits, which centers around content taken from 2 recent releases in the Super Mario series, with Princess Peach Showtime, which was made by the company Goodfield, the same studio behind titles like Kirby's Epic Yarn and Yoshi's Woolly World, with it seeing Peach take on the role of the main protagonist, following her travel through a series of stage plays in order to save the Sparkle Theatre from the evil sorceress Madame Grape and a group of minions, the Sour Bunch, as well as Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the first completely new 2D Mario platformer since New Super Mario Bros. U released 11 years prior, the game following Mario and the gang being invited to the neighbouring Flower Kingdom, only for Bowser to invade and proceed to wreak havoc after stealing the power of the reality-warping Wonder Flower, with it being up to Mario's crew to take him down and save the kingdom's local inhabitants of the Poplin. As for what was actually taken from these games, there's number 1525, Peach and Stella, a 2-slot Legend primary grab spirit with the effect Jump Up. The 2 leads of Princess Peach Showtime, Peach having gone to the Sparkle Theatre after being invited by a Toad, with her teaming up with Stella, the guardian fairy of the theatre, in order to save it after it's taken captive by Grape and the Sour Bunch. Number 1526, Elephant Mario, a 2-slot Ace support spirit with the effect Slow Super Armor, one of the new power-up transformations in Wonder given by the Elephant Fruit. Whilst in the elephant form, Mario can attack objects and blocks in front of him by swinging his trunk, with him also being able to carry water and objects with it, along with having improved strength and weight. Number 1527, Sword Fighter Peach, a 1-slot advanced primary attack spirit with the effect Sword Attack Up. During her adventure through the theater, Peach will be able to transform into various outfits, giving a variety of abilities, with the first one she uses being Sword Fighter Peach, where she can attack enemies with a flurry of sword swings, along with gaining moves to help dodge enemy attacks. And finally, number 1528, Wonder Flower and Talking Flower, a 1-slot novice support spirit which lets you start the battle with a fire flower. 2 special types of flowers found within the Flower Kingdom. The Wonder Flower is able to cause a Wonder effect to trigger when touched, causing a wide variety of effects to trigger, ranging from the pipes coming alive, to Mario transforming into various creatures, to causing piranha plants to start singing. Meanwhile, talking flowers appear throughout the game, with them providing hints and comedic commentary on the level when approached by Mario. And that's all of the 5th anniversary spirits. As for where each of these franchises rank in terms of overall representation, 13 Sentinels, Power Pros, and Hades are all tied 153rd with 65 other series. Pikmin is 22nd, being sandwiched by Metal Gear and Yoshi. Splatoon is 14th, putting it ahead of Tekken and behind Castlevania. Xenoblade Chronicles is 11th, placing between both Street Fighter and Metroid. The Legend of Zelda is 4th, ranking above Fire Emblem but below Smash Bros itself. Pokémon is 2nd, coming a bit above Smash, and Super Mario is the most represented series in the game. If you enjoyed this video, maybe consider checking out some of the other videos in this series, or subscribe to keep up with whenever new ones will come out. Otherwise, thanks for watching.